Just a quick one before we dive in. I've just opened up 2 brand new ways to work with me. If you're an established beauty professional who's ready to increase your revenue, either in your clinic or by moving into the online mentoring and educational space, you can join me for a 2-month container where we build and validate your first online offer or your next big move. Or if you're ready to go all in, there is a 7-month private mentorship where we build, launch and scale your new revenue stream together. If you're not sure which one's right for you, I'm offering a handful of free business clarity calls, quick and powerful to map out your fastest path and to see which container fits best. Just DM me the word revenue on Instagram or check the link in the show notes and email me. Let's get into the episode.
Welcome to the Beauty Build podcast with me, Zara King. As a coach for beauty pros, it is my mission to help you earn more, work less, and create an unstoppable mindset. This is the show where we explore all of that. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting your beauty business, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and join us on the journey. And for more, get yourself inside my private community, The Beauty Build on Facebook.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Thank you for being here. Today we are going to be diving into talking about how to step into the next level version of yourself and grow your business. And the reason I want to talk about this is because people do seem to get stuck and they start feeling like they've hit a wall or they've hit a ceiling, and they begin to cap themselves in their beauty businesses. They might think, I've been doing all the things, I've got so far, and this is obviously as far as I'm going to get with it, kind of thing. And the thing is, you don't have to stay stagnant in your beauty business. You don't have to think, I've trained in this, I've offered this is where I'm at, and the only thing I can do is increase my prices to keep doing more. That's just not what you have to do if you don't want to. You can keep growing, you can keep evolving, and there are some things that you need to do to be able to do that. So the biggest thing that I want to tell you all about today is the fact that when it comes to growing any business, you need to grow as a person. So it's actually a conscious decision that you make consistently over time to choose to keep on stepping forward. Okay, I said in my speech at the Hona event in March this year that success isn't linear. Success isn't one big thing. There's many things success isn't that people think it is. It's certainly not an overnight thing. And what it is the choice that you make to just keep stepping forward. And you can't just keep telling yourself, I'm going to wait until I get here to do this. You can't say, when I get fully booked, I'm going to up my prices. I mean, you can do that when you get fully booked, but that's not the point. You can't keep saying, when I'm at X amount income, I'll be happy. Or when I get fully booked, I'm going to open a salon. Or when I get more clients in, I'm going to start taking more pictures. Or when I do this, I'm going to train in that. All of this mentality about, I'll do this when, is completely the wrong way around. It needs to be flipped around. You can't hold yourself back because of an external circumstance. Okay, and that is all it's doing. That is all it's doing. It's holding you back from everything else that you want in life and everything else that you want in your business. So what you need to be doing is doing the things before the results come in. So what I mean by that is you need to be showing up as you believe that you would be once you're already there. So we're going to dive into that a little bit today and talk about how you can do that and how you can realize what that looks like and, stop holding yourself back, basically. And some of the biggest reasons that we hold ourselves back are, things like our limiting beliefs that come up for us that can be deeply, deeply rooted because of different childhood things and different experiences and other people's beliefs and stories that they might have projected onto us. It comes from society and the norms that you see and the stereotypes that you see being thrown around. And it also comes from fear. It comes from holding ourselves back because we're seeking external validation and we're not receiving that, so we hold ourselves back. The biggest ones are the fears and the limiting beliefs that really hold ourselves back from putting ourselves out there and being who we truly want to be. And, it gets to all of us because we don't want to upset anyone, or we don't want to look stupid, or, all of these things that can hold you back. And it's really about breaking those down, because what you need to achieve the success that you're after is literally already inside of you. So once you practice this kind of work and looking inwards, you can really make huge leaps. And when I say leaps, I mean leaps in your personal success in your life and your business. It doesn't just come in your business. It can also mean growing as a person and the leaps that you make as a person. So it's going to change along the way as well. That's another really important thing I want to mention, is that when you're doing this kind of inwards work, and when you're looking at who you need to be, who you want to be showing up as to get to where you need to be, where you want to be, this kind of thing is going to change all the time, because your goals are going to change, your life circumstances are going to change, and the external circumstances are going to change as well. So with every single leap that you make, and every next step, if you like, that you make in your beauty business, you're going to need to look at this again and again and again, because all of these things around you are going to change, and everything inside of you and the things that you want and that you want to achieve, that's all going to change as you go along. So it's definitely a process, and it's kind of a journey that I've fallen in love with, actually, because I myself am not perfect. I'm never going to sit here and say that I don't fall off the wagon, or I don't work on my mindset and don't look inwards and forget where I'm headed, basically, because a lot of the time my life gets crazy. I start self-sabotaging and I forget to do these things. So just know that everybody has to do this, and I've done it many, many times. My life has changed. I've had babies. When baby number 1 came along and I was in salon, things had to change. When baby number 2 came along and I quit my full-time job, things had to change. When my hours had to change, when I went home-based, again, I had to do this work. And every time I upped my prices, or every time I wanted to offer a new treatment or change the way I ran my business, or just grow and look at the next step, it required a different version of myself. And every single time I would lean into that, but it wasn't before feeling the kind of push and the kind of and the pull and like the guilt almost that I should be doing something, and I can feel that I should be doing something, but I'm not, and maybe I'm holding myself back. So I'm just here to tell you that you're probably going to feel that kind of level of push-pull, level of guilt, level of like a little bit of stress, to be honest. And stress and pressure can be a good thing, right? The stress and pressure that we put on ourselves and that we have upon us from external circumstances and things going on around us, it can be turned into a good thing. You can channel it into excitement and growth and see it as a learning opportunity and, expansion and things like that. So rather than feeling that and letting it hold you back and basically not going for it, see that as your make or break point. See that as the time that you can tell, like, something's going to happen here, and I even need to make a decision to go for something or not go for something. And as long as that all aligns with you and what you want in your life and in your business, then you're going to make the right decision. You're always right whether you do something or you don't, I believe, because, whether you do it or you don't, it's meant to be. So when you feel that, and just know that it will feel hard, this is when you look inwards. This is when you do this kind of work. So you're going to make or break it at this point, and you've got some work to do. The other thing I want to talk about as well is when you feel this kind of push and pull scenario and you're not sure what to do, and you kind of think, I think there's the next step here, I need to do something. A lot of the time, another reason that we hold ourselves back is not just because of the standard and the common fears and the common limiting beliefs and all of this type of thing. It's also another thing that we as humans are wired to believe, is that with positive can come negative. So we always think like, well, I've got this far, and to do the next bit, that would be great for my income, or that would be great for my reputation, or great for my skill set or my knowledge or whatever you're trying to fill up. But naturally, sometimes we think, well, to get that and to do that, I'm going to have to do X, Y, and Z, and that's going to come at a cost to something. We just kind of think with positive comes negative. It's a natural way that our brain works. And I just want to put it out there to you all that you are the one that gets to choose your sacrifices. And there are going to be times in your life and in your business when you're doing something that you're going to choose to sacrifice something. And that's okay. You're going to want to like spend more time on your business. You're going to want to kind of, get your head down a little bit more. You're going to sacrifice maybe going out as much as you have done, or you're going to sacrifice maybe your mornings and you're going to get up a bit earlier and things like that. You get to choose those sacrifices. And when you want to, you go for it. And when you don't want to sacrifice something and it's non-negotiable to you, that is absolutely fine. And the other thing is you get to choose the energy that you step into every single day. So if you're thinking about the negative and what's going to come along with this positive, you get to decide, you get to choose. Today I'm going to look at it like this and I'm going to choose the positive, because that needs to outweigh anything that you might think may come along with it. It's all about growing the business. So it doesn't come at a cost to your life overall. Obviously, we don't want to burn out and not have a life. If, have this huge successful business or whatever, but not actually have a life, that would be ridiculous. And I don't encourage any of you to do that. But you get to look at it in the positives. You get to decide, I'm going to look at this as in, what can I control? What can I do to minimize the cost? What can I do to minimize the stress or the extra workload? How can I delegate? What's in my control, basically? So that's another reason that you might start to think, well, I'm going to hold myself back. And somebody else might even say to you, well, to do that, you're going to have to do this. And do you really think this is even going to happen? You've already got X, Y, and Z. Some other people's opinions might hold you back as well. So always think about that. And it's natural to think about the positive and the negatives. Don't feel like, this is wrong. Just remember that these are scenarios and you can look at every leap that you're about to make and think, well, why could this go wrong? And the best way of doing it is to think about it first, is to think about, well, why could this go wrong? What is the cost to me? How can I minimize that? All of these things. It's kind of like, negative manifestation, so that you actually imagine the worst case scenario and imagine everything that could go wrong or that could make it difficult for you, so that you can put a plan in place to go, right, actually, I want this. Yes, it might mean a couple of sacrifices, but I'm not going to negotiate on this and that. And what I am going to do is focus on what I can control and the positives. And I'm going to try and make sure that everything that I think could possibly happen doesn't happen. And it's just better to be equipped. They say that prevention is better than cure. So it's better to be equipped with all of these things when you're about to make big decisions or leaps in your business and in your life. So what I want to do today is give you some ideas on how you can figure out how to step into this next level version of yourself. Okay, how to initially grow as this person to end up where you want to be. Because that's the way around it has to be. You have to be that person to yield those results. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to have a little think about how you see yourself. So this is just on a normal day, every single day of waking up and going to work, or, home life, business life. What do you do? How do you see yourself showing up? And write that down and get seriously clear on exactly how you carry yourself, how you're feeling, how you, what your energy is like, everything that you can think about, how you're showing up. Write that down based on one of your normal days at the moment. And then when you realize how you're showing up, you're going to look at that information and think, right, what is it that I'm not showing of myself that I would like to be showing of myself? Because there's so many parts of us that we don't show, and there's so many parts of us that we know we're holding back. Okay, and we also know that to get to the next level of us and to get to the next level in business, we probably need to give a little bit more of ourselves. We need to put ourselves out there a little bit more. So figure out, what is it that you're not still showing? Why? Is that non-negotiable, or are there areas that you want to delve into and get out there a little bit more into the world? Because success is going to come from being your true, authentic self. That is what's going to happen. You can't live a life of somebody else. You can't pretend to be somebody that you're not, and you're not going to attract beauty clients in that way either. It's not sustainable. So those are the first two things I would encourage you to do. And then I would think, right, now I know where I need to grow. So obviously, all in alignment and all being authentically yourself is very, very important, as I just mentioned. So what you need to do now is actually think, right, well, I know where I need to grow, know what I'm not showing. Think about the sort of 5 most important things for you right now that could be the next step in your business. And think about the next 5 things, or the 5 things that are important in getting to the next stage of you in your life. The reason I say to do 5 for business and 5 for life, it could be more or less, but the reason I say to do it for both is so that we don't end up with that imbalance. It's so that we don't end up with this super shiny, gorgeous, big business that kind of comes at a sacrifice to our life, because we want to grow them both in balance to a certain degree and feel that we have achieved success on both sides. So that's what I would do. Figure out what is important right now. 5 things for the life and for the business. So for your life, it might be something like your relationships, it might be your spirituality, it might be your finances, it could be your self-care, all of these things. And for the business, the 5 areas might be, right, well, it's the services that I offer. It could be the website or the marketing. It could be the income and your prices. It could be that the awareness of your business needs to grow. There are so many things that it could be. And what you want to do is figure out what those areas that you're looking to grow, what they look like at a 10 out of 10. So if that was functioning at a 10, you were so happy with it, there was, at its peak, literally nothing more you could do, what would that look like? And figure out where it is. So if we're on a scale of 1 to 10, am I at a 5, am I at a 6? Because you're going to be off the mark somewhere. If it's in your realm of thinking about it and growing it, it's probably off the mark. It's at least at a 1, okay, if it's a thought in your mind. And figure out what the gap is. So what does it look like at a 10? What is the gap? And if I know now what it looks like at a 10, if I can envisage what that actually looks like, what it runs like on a day-to-day basis at a 10, if I can understand how I'm showing up when that's all at a 10 and what I'm doing, then you can really start to visualize everything that you want to be doing and everything that's in your control. So you can ask yourself, well, how can I implement some of that now? And what that does is it gives you the control. It takes away all of the comparisons, because you know that that's what you need to be doing to get to where you need to be. It's your own race. It doesn't even come into question what anyone else is doing. And what it will do is it'll improve the inspired action that you take. So visualizing it and seeing everything at a 10 and what you actually look like and what you're showing up as and how you're carrying yourself and where are you going, what are you doing, who are you with, what does the business look like, everything, your clients. Visualize everything. And when I say everything, I mean every single little detail. Close your eyes, get into it. Once you've visualized it, make note of everything that you have realized, and then ask yourself, and what else can I notice? Keep going. Honestly, the best thing that you can do is really spend some time figuring out what it looks like when you are where you want to be. Really figure it out. What does it look like when you are where you want to be in your life and in your business? And then start implementing. Because once you do that, you are going to be inspired. Your mind is going to start working in ways that will help you to get there. Okay. And the thought of it actually puts it out there for you to go and get it. It's already there. It's already attainable. You've just got to go and get it. So take those actions, make those plans and set those goals and start showing up how you need to get to where you want to be. And don't just do this once and then not look at it. Keep doing this. Keep having a little look. Make it a daily habit to look at your vision or your why and keep going. And then every couple of months, review where you're at and review how you are, how you're showing up and where those levels are of those 5 most important things for your life and those 5 most important things for your business. Figure out where they are now. Have you shortened the gap? Because I'm pretty sure you will have. So make sure that you're looking back and you're reviewing, I'd say every few months, to see what you're doing every quarter. Look at where that business is. Look at where your life is. Look at how you're showing up, because things are going to happen that you don't expect to happen as well. So when that happens, you're going to need to have a little look and make sure that everything's in alignment with you. This is where things like weekly check-ins come in and monthly check-ins, and then obviously the quarterly ones, the big ones, because you need to make sure that you're still on track and that you're still being your true, authentic self and that you're still not forgetting the end goals and where you really want to be. And once you do all of this and you choose to step into this energy every single day of yourself at this level 10, the law of attraction works with you. The law of the universe, the vibrations, all of this stuff that we talk about in energy and all of that. It starts working with you. You can do other things as well to start, creating this reality. You can journal every day around it. You can, do all of these things. But the biggest thing that I think you should do is focus on your gratitude, when you realise that this is all working towards where you want to be. Have a think every single day about what you're grateful for. Look at the why, look at the vision, as I just mentioned. And what you're going to realise is that you are already there before you even thought you would be. I promise you now, and tell me if this has ever happened to you in the past. Reach out to me and let me know. This has happened to me before, where I thought, oh my goodness, I am where I thought I would be. I'm where I planned to be last year or the year before or whatever. And it's just amazing how it happens, and how you're not going to feel completely different. It's not going to be, it might not be a huge, massive, crazy change in who you are. And that's why it comes and it shocks you sometimes, because you think, oh wow, yeah, I am who I thought I wanted to be. I'm putting myself out there, and I'm actually at this level 10, and everything has worked out. So it might be difficult for some of you to get going with this work. Our listeners come from all over the place with loads of different backgrounds, very different beauty businesses, and there are going to be times when, for all of you, you lose that motivation, and it gets hard, and it feels like you can't do it. And you're going to wake up some days and think, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm not seeing the results. Everything that you do is going to take a lot of patience. It's going to take the right level of urgency, and it's going to take the right levels of effort and energy from you as well. So there are going to be times that you have an off day, and that's okay. And what I want to do is finish up by letting you know that when these off days happen, you can still stay on track. And the quicker that you notice that you've gone off track, the better. So by working on your mindset daily and your gratitude daily and everything else, and having your check-ins, is really going to help you to identify when these things happen, so that you can get back on track as quickly as you can. So if you wake up one morning and you realise that you kind of don't really want to do what you got to do that day, my favourite thing to do is to change my physical state. The easiest and quickest way for me to change my mental state is to change my physical state. So if I wake up in a crappy mood, I'm going to go outside, I'm going to breathe in the fresh air, I'm going to raise my arms, and I'm just going to breathe in and breathe out while raising my arms up and down, and appreciate that I'm here and that the sun is shining, or that there's fresh air, and it will change my physical state. You can go a bit further with that, obviously. You can go for a walk, you can go to the gym, you can change your physical state by putting on your favourite outfit, or putting on some makeup, or having a treatment, or booking in somewhere, going a little bit more extreme. Whatever you want to do to change your physical state, it will definitely help you change your mental state quickly. So that's one of the top tips I would say. When you're having a down day, do that. And your reality is going to change before you know it. If you can do all the bits that we've spoken about, and if you can keep going when it feels hard, then you are going to be stepping into the next level version that you need to be in order to hold the next big level version of your business. So I hope this episode has helped you today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained valuable insights that will help you in your beauty business and life. If you did, please take a screenshot and tag me in your stories. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me on any of my socials. The links are always in the descriptions. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you more and more great content. Until next time, keep building that business.